Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series Shipwreck. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, taking a look at the front of the box and we can see old Shipwreck here, and boy, he is looking great. You can see everything he comes with in the top right corner. Little action pose there in the middle, and then some artwork there on the bottom right side. It looks really nice. This is a really nice package. Flipping around here on the side, you can see the QR code, which you can even pause and scan right now if you want to go to his webpage and see where he is. See what his stats mean and how he stacks up against other Joes. And then on the other side, you can see he has some artwork and number 70 in the line. Flipping around here on the back, you can see that it is number 70. You can see he stands 6.3 inches tall and all of the stuff he comes with, and then a couple of like punch-in shots of, you know, his hairpiece, Polly, and then down there below you can see some more of the stats, which you would have to look up online to see what he is good at. And if you want to know what he comes in the package looking like, he comes like this. And I dig the idea that they're starting to put the artwork from the front of the package like inside the box. I think that looks really neat in that black and white. That looks really cool. And then he does come with his foot locker there on the side with all of his stuff. Speaking of accessories, here you have everything he comes with. He does come with a rope with a hook, a hairpiece, Polly, a double barrel pistol with a rope on the end, another like smaller sidearm, and a hook that you can hook on his belt or the rope, which is pretty cool. Taking a look at the front of the figure, man, he just looks great. There's so much nostalgia here. This is just like a perfect figure. I dig the hat, the open shirt, the chest hair. I love his tattoos, the metal, like the silver belt buckle, all of the holsters he has. I love that weathering that they've put on the thighs, on the pants, and then the baggy jeans bunched up at the bottom, and his boots. Just everything about this guy just looks great. Flipping around here on the back, he does have a hole if you on the back if you want to give him like a backpack of anything from like another Joe. You can see all of the detail on his holster and the back pockets and on the pants and the bunching up at the bottom as well. Flipping around here on the side, I did want to punch in and just show some of the tampos that they've got going on, like the design and insignia and rank on his shoulder, and then down to the anchor and kind of sea creature wrapped around the anchor on his arm, which looks really good. On the other side, we have that same insignia up at the top of his shoulder, and then a different tattoo on this arm of a shark with a hook going through it, which looks really cool. I love the colors on that tattoo, just really pop. Getting in a little closer on his face, I love that he has one eyebrow raised up like he's, you know, kind of being inquisitive. I think I got lucky. I have some really good paint apps. I've seen some, you know, mustaches misprint here and there. Apparently there's some running variations with the amount and color of chest hair. It looks like I am in the, I would say probably the adult film actor category with the amount of chest hair that I've got applied on mine, and he looks pretty cool. This is one of my more favorite head sculpts and paint applications. And that hairpiece, when you swap it out, looks really nice as well. It looks really cool. Is there anybody else getting some Adam Scott vibes from this guy, or is it just me? Here we have a closer look at the rope being applied across his chest and how Polly sits on it with the peg leg, which looks really cool. And Polly's pretty well painted. Looks really nice. And if you want to move Polly down to the arm, you can do so as well, which looks really cool. I'm glad they give us two options. Okay, moving in here and taking a closer look at Shipwreck and his articulation. This guy just looks great, and he is so fun to have in hand. The nostalgia is fantastic on this guy. So he can look up about that far, which is really good. He can look down that far, which is great. Got a really good range of motion. Here we have his butterfly joints are working much better than Bazooka's was yesterday. So I'm really glad of that. Let's see if he can sort of hit that T pose with no problem. This arm's a little stiff, want to give me a little trouble going up, but yeah, he can hit that T pose, no problem whatsoever. And boy, just kind of like Bazooka, this arm's a little hard to get down. He does have the upper bicep swivel, sorry, with that little cuff, which looks really nice. I dig that. He does have the double jointed pinless elbows, which looks really nice, especially since you got that tattoo there. You don't want to interrupt that design. He can bend forward about that far, which is really good, and he can bend that far back. He does have a swivel and pivot there at the waist, so you get lots of articulation there. He does have a vertical hinge at both wrists, which is nice. He does have the drop down leg, so he can move forward about that far and only back about that far. He does have the upper thigh cut and the double jointed pinless knees, which goes back about that far, and then he does have a nice pivot, hinge, and swivel down at the foot, but the sides of the pants do kind of get in a way a little bit when trying to move the foot left and right. So man, I just really dig this guy. I wanted to show you how the headpiece works here, how you can swap it out. It just comes right off, no problem, and then you can put the other one on. And this is one of the better hair swaps that I've seen. To me, it is seamless. You cannot tell where it stops and starts, which is great. It just looks really, really good. Like I said, it's one of the better head swaps that or hair swaps that I've seen. It just looks fantastic. But for me, he's got to have on that little naval hat. That's just pure Shipwreck as far as I'm concerned. So I just wanted to show how you put the rope on. For me, I like to put it on this way. So what you do is I just lift up the arm, kind of put it over the arm and the head, and then just bring it down across a little hook in the back. And there's a little hole right here on the top, and that little hole is where you can put Polly's peg leg and kind of like poke it right in if you want Polly up on the shoulder. And that's how he looks, and I think it looks really cool there. Also, if you want, there's a little hole right here on the wrist, and you can pop Polly off there and put Polly on the wrist, because after all, what is a seafaring naval guy without a parrot on his wrist, right? As far as the hook goes, you can put the hook down on this little hook right here on the front, probably a little bit better than I just tried right there, or you can put it on the rope and hang it from his back. Either way, I think it looks great. I like how it looks like it's integrated into the rope. He does have this little sidearm that you can put in the holster right here, no problem. That's a tiny little pistol, so we're just going to stick it right there and leave it there for now on. And then he does have his double barrel pistol with the rope on it, his like more pirate-esque gun, and that goes in the holster just fine right there. And there he is, all kitted out and ready to go to battle. So what I want to do here is I wanted to look at Polly and just show that there's no articulation. It would have been nice if Polly's head moved. That would have been really cool. And I know people are thinking, well, it's kind of small, you can't really have an articulation point, but that's really not true. Recently I got the Marion figure from the Indiana Jones line, and she comes with this monkey, and this monkey's got 4 points of articulation. The monkey's head moves back and forth, both arms move up and down, and the tail is on a ball joint. And this is also Hasbro. This comes from Hasbro, so that thing is just as small as Polly, and they got 4 points of articulation. I do think they could have just at least made the head move, but it's okay. Polly's well painted, looks nice, and I love the peg leg. I love the blue on the head, and I love how Polly gets integrated into both the rope and his wrist. So I'm not really going to complain. Let's go ahead and get him up on a... Man, I'm having a hard time getting this guy on a base. These figures, when they're brand new, they really don't want to peg onto these stands very easily. But I want to get him up on a base and then bring in a couple of other Joes just for size comparison. We're going to bring out Bazooka here, who we looked at yesterday, who just sort of towers over his mustachioed buddy here, and then bringing in my favorite other bearded guy, Outback, and you can see how they kind of stack up. He kind of is dead even with Outback. They look nice, and look at that, red, white, and blue. I didn't even plan that. It just kind of worked out. That's really cool. So let's get these guys out of the way. Let's get Shipwreck here under some lighting and into some backgrounds and see how he poses up. I gotta say, I really dig this Shipwreck figure. He is giving me so much nostalgia right now. It is crazy. I love the hat, the rope, Polly, the colors, the worn blue jeans, just everything about it just looks great and incredible, and I am digging it. This is definitely one of my favorite releases of the more recent G.I. Joe offerings, and I'm digging it. I love it so much, and I hope you guys do too. And if you want to help out the channel, you can do so by clicking the Amazon link and buying Shipwreck yourself right now from Amazon, and that will definitely help out the channel. I'm trying to get into the Amazon pilot or Amazon program where I can, help drive traffic their way, but also get a little kickback to help the channel with expenses. So if you want to help out, if you can, click the Amazon link below and pre-order or buy this guy right now if you want to do so. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please remember to check us out over at Instagram and Threads at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm the host, Mark. And remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.